Alright, so here we have the Model X long range. Um, as you can see, it has the new wheels as well as the black trim all across the Model X, similar to the Model S, where they've updated the silver and it's now all black. The only chrome kind of on the car now is on the Tesla T's. And as you can see, it looks a lot better, similar to like how they removed all the I like this a lot better, to be honest with you. Wasn't a fan of the chrome, but the black looks very good. Now it's kind of consistent with the S, X, and Y, as well as the 3. Also, the wheels have kind of been updated. I think these are the base rims right now, so those are pretty nice. I actually kind of enjoy that look for it. Here's the interior of the car. And the interior, this is I believe it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So it's the 6-seat configuration, which I think is probably the best. No, I think 7 is the best, but 6 is pretty solid. As you can see, I have 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 in the middle. So 6-seat configuration. 7 is my favorite, but also it's probably a little bit more expensive. As you can see as well, you have kind of like the seats where they have updated air cooling, and you have the new yoke steering wheel. As you can see in the back as well, the Tesla side in the back is all blacked out, and some chrome for split out the Tesla. And then here are the Falcon Wing doors. If you press it, that's how they kind of open. I'm struggling here, but they do open. I gotta press it. Yep, on the corner. Press on the corner, and then that's how they open. And then the doors go up. This is one of the coolest features about the Model X, especially if you want to kind of wow people. You gotta have the Falcon Wing doors. Press this red button here to close them, and that's how you kind of get in and out of the car. I think it looks really nice, sleek, and stylish. You think it looks like a giant car, but once you get inside, it doesn't really feel that big. So it is kind of like, I guess I wouldn't say it's the minivan of Tesla, but it's definitely their biggest car that they have available for the consumers. So pretty cool. My favorite car. As you press on the brake, it closes the door as well.
What's up, guys? So today we are in the Model X long range. It's I think the gray one. I forgot the formal name, but anyways, it's kind of gray color, similar to the Model Y color, Model S color over there. But this one is all gray. So as you can see, this is the 5-seat interior. Feels a lot of headroom, which I like, similar to the Y. A lot of headroom. S did not have much headroom, but there is a lot more headroom in this car. So let's take a look again. Very similar feel and vibe. So here are the seats. Front seat's pretty good. As you can see, similar seats to the S. Here is the X back seats over here. This is a 5-seater, so it's definitely pretty spacious back there. Let's actually take a look. I'm gonna go inside. As you can see, opening the doors. Okay, the back is a lot more spacious, especially if you are a passenger. So let's say you close it, and as you can see, the doors closing down. All right, cool. Yeah, back is way more spacious. The S back was super tight. I would rather be in here if I was a passenger, to be 100% honest with you. So feels nice back here, and this is the screen, guys. As you can see, that's the screen back at the car. I don't know if I'd watch stuff here. That's the screen. That's how the front looks. And as you can see, I feel like the headroom isn't as big as the Y. So yeah, the headroom isn't as big as the Y. Cool Alcantara, but my head's almost touching this. It is a big car for sure, but honestly, I think the Y has the most room, which is kind of wild. So here we are. There is the yoke steering wheel, adjustable screen, and then to the back. Here's the trunk as well. That's how it looks like the trunk. Trunk space is solid. I don't think it's actually pretty similar to the Y. I thought it would be bigger, but yeah. All right, let's get out. Press this button. Door opens. Here's the back of the car. Show you guys the trunk space. That opens as well. And boom. Yeah, it looks like it's similar to the Y trunk space. It's not that much bigger. If you want a huge trunk space, you should definitely get a truck, but pretty solid. All right, this is how you close the door. Boom. Let's get back in here. All right, so the way you close this door is like you close it manually, or you can press your foot here, and the door closes. What? Okay, that's closed. As you can see, this screen's kind of adjusted a little funky, but I'll go to display, and then what you could do is press center if you want the screen to go in the center, or you can go in the right if you want it to go to the right. For us, let's do left. I'm gonna try driving with the left screen right now. All right, I'm gonna drive this car, tap to drive, and then what we're gonna do is same thing is you just flick upward for the car to go. So I'm gonna flip the camera now, give you my driving perspective. Let's go. So it definitely feels like a spaceship, to be honest with you, which is kind of cool. Very, very big car. What I'm gonna do now is actually I'm gonna adjust the steering wheel because it's too high. All right, let's drive, guys. Initial thoughts, a lot bigger than the Y. I actually really like it more than the S, to be honest with you. Wish you could have all the cars. It'd be sick, but we can't. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to test the acceleration, kind of like a full stop right now. And 3, 2, 1, go. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, I believe. For the long range, or was it 4 seconds? Feels very nice. Like there's a huge cabin area in the front, so it feels like I'm in a spaceship, to be honest with you, which is pretty cool. And I do enjoy that about the car. It's really nice. A lot of headroom. I enjoy the headroom space of this car, but I enjoy the look of the S a lot more, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna make a right now in this car, and then we'll see what it's like. It's turning right here. Let's see how the steering is for the yoke and if it's nimble. Okay. So for me, I feel like the suspension is pretty good here. It's a lot more comfortable in this big car compared to the Y, but I feel like the S had the most comfortable suspension of all the cars. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to see where I can go. Kind of far from the freeway, but I'll just try to drive in the back roads. And luckily today's like a Sunday, so there's not much traffic, and driving this is kind of fun, to be honest with you. I think I like the X the most. Really nice. Very huge car. And if you want a cool looking car, I feel like the X is the move, right? But if you want a super fast zippy car, the 3 is the move. If you want the head turner car, it's definitely the X for sure, because the doors. More people are more kind of impressed by the X if that's what you're going for. For me, it's like I like the aesthetics of the S the most, but then the X, I probably would want to drive this every day. What I enjoy the most. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to drive this around, and then I want to look at the Model S Plaid. But so far the driving is really good, very smooth. I'm enjoying the yoke. I can see how this car is probably the best car for road trips. There's a ton of room, and like the front facing ceiling is crazy cool. I really like it. I really like the front of this. I might get the X, we'll see. But it's really nice, like the front of it. This is a great road trip car for sure. Or even a car to drive as you're like going to like, I don't know, going to work. But yeah, this is a great car. I enjoy the vision on this car the most. It's like, it feels like you're in a freaking spaceship. This car is, really like it. It's wild because I always thought the 3 was my favorite, but then the X is like the nicest car, I feel like, too. Most head turner car and the nicest to drive. But we'll see. For me, like in my point in my life, I don't really have a family or anything, so don't need a giant car. But I think this car is very beautiful, so I'm enjoying it. What I might do too is, like, I know it's my driving perspective, so maybe I'll have some B-roll footage showing the car driving and everything. That will be kind of how I do it, but we'll see. Essentially, I'm enjoying this car. Very fun to drive. The front is humongous. Yeah, I'm torn, man. I'm torn. I don't know what car to get now. Stick with the Y, change to an S or an X. I like to try and change my car every year or so, but I know that's not the smartest thing to do. But so far, so good. I'm enjoying this car. Definitely the most comfortable in Scarth's space, but the headroom is the best here. I think the S is the most like least bumpy. So yeah. Alright, I'm gonna drive back to Tesla now. I did enjoy driving this. What I might do too is, like, maybe I'll rent a Model S or Model X one day.
Turn at Hibiscus Avenue.
And then see how it goes. But I'm enjoying this car. You know, sometimes you just want to get to drive for a longer amount of time. The center console though here, it's kind of like really finicky and not that good. Like it feels cheap. But I guess you're buying this car for the technology. So that's kind of the reason you get this car too. Turning radius is not that good, but the car is beautiful. Yeah, so one thing you'll get to notice too is the yoke is an interesting wheel. It's like a fighter jet steering wheel, to be honest with you. So very like kind of like you're in a jet plane. Honestly, it feels like I'm in like the Millennium Falcon, or like I feel like I'm in Star Tours right now in the Model X. So it's probably a good road tripping car, but for if you're kind of like a single guy or single person, you don't need a ton of space, I think you should just go with the Y. The Y might be the most bang for your buck. A lot cheaper, and then essentially with the price of one X, you can buy one 3 and one Y, which is kind of wild. So it's like, do you want 2 cars or 1 car? You know? Or do you want one really expensive car? So I'm enjoying it. I like this car a lot. I think the X might be my favorite for going my gut. And then the S was my second favorite, just in terms of the looks. Yeah. I could totally see myself driving this every day as a daily driver. Will this car turn a lot of heads? No, because it's like a mass-produced car, but your family or people you do drive, they'll have a good time sitting in here and driving it. So if you do that, that's probably your best kind of bang for your buck if you want to drive people around. They'll probably enjoy staying in the X. But I'm gonna be honest with you too, like I think the most room I've had sitting in the back was in the Y. It was very spacious. The S is pretty tight in the back for other people. And then the Y, or the X, it has this thing up here where it's too close to your head. So if you're really tall, I'm like 5'11", so, and it was kind of bothering me. I can only imagine people who are like 6 foot and taller, they probably would be like super not comfortable in the back. So it's interesting. It's nice driving all these cars just to see what it's like. And I enjoy making content with them, so it's super fun. But essentially, it is kind of like a similar vibe for each of these cars. It's just how bougie do you want to go and how comfortable you want to go. I truly believe after driving all these cars, the Y is the most bang for your buck, but the X, most head turner because of the doors, and then S looks the most beautiful in my opinion, and then 3 is kind of like the entry level car, but if you drive it through performance, it's so fun to drive. So for me, I'm gonna bring this back. We're gonna deliberate and think, but this car is beautiful. We'll look at how much it costs. We'll look at if it's kind of smart to trade in the Y for this car, but so far so good. Enjoying this car, enjoying the drive. It's a beautiful car and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, we're gonna drive the car now, and the range is pretty good in this car. I think it's 350, which I kind of like. But then the S, if you want the S, that range is around 400. So that might be the best bang for your buck too. Just saying. All right, returning the car now. Let's do it. All right, guys. Here is the frunk size of the Model X. It's definitely the biggest frunk I've seen. Way bigger than the Model Y frunk. A lot of space right here. Really nice. As well as the T looks super cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the Model X. Definitely the Falcon Wing doors are a head turner, as well as it's very comfortable when it comes to space and the suspension. So with that being said, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe this video. I'll keep producing Tesla content. I really appreciate you guys. Have an amazing day, Jello fam.